And hello, everyone. How are you doing, Mama?
Doing all right. How are you?
Uh, uh, Wrong direction for the volume of my phone. There we go. Fix that problem. I am doing all right. Still feeling a bit yucky from yesterday. Um, I went to a vow renewal that was outside, and I have allergies, and apparently they're really bad. So uh, I spent most of today in bed, but I'm feeling well enough to do Sudoku, at least for a little bit. And of course, a vow renewal wedding thing is uh, a social event, so I've been doing a lot more talking than normal, and louder talking than normal. So my throat's not feeling great. But hopefully it's just yuckiness that I'm past now. So trying to get some puzzles pulled up for us to do today. But while I'm doing that, anything exciting on your side, Mama?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Yeah. The yeah. So I'll just get these puzzles pulled up, and then we will get started. Normally I'd have this done ahead of time, but was watching The Handmaid's Tale, which has been a bit of a heavy watch. It is not the most fun story, to put it lightly, I guess. I guess I'm not entirely certain what I would want to say about it, if anything, because I'm not like all the way through it. I'm only in I think
Obviously, not the movie that was
yeah,
however
it
many
was
years ago it came out.
it's the TV show. Um, we're on season 2, episode 4 was what we just watched. So, all right, I've got 2 puzzles pulled up. We'll see how we get through those, and we'll add more if necessary later. All right, I think I am ready if you are.
Yep.
Oh, gotta make sure I have the puzzle actually pulled up in OBS. Transition, and now we have a puzzle. All right, first puzzle today is going to be Double Exclusion by Mixo. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Quadruples. Digits in a quadruple circle must be placed at least once in the 4 cells touching that circle. Double arrow. The sum of the digits on a line between 2 circles is equal to the sum of the digits in the circles at either end of the line. Okay. So if we look at like those two, let's say I made that a 7 and a 9, then that would mean these 4 are 16. And this 1-4 circle means I couldn't put a 1 here. It has to be around those 4.
2, 3, 5, 6 is the minimum.
Uh,
16 is the minimum.
oh. I didn't even know that ahead of time.
Well, in box 9, 3, 4, and 5 are out. So 1, 2, 6, 7
It's also
is
a
the minimum.
minimum of 16.
Yeah. 1, 4, 5, 6. 1, 4, 5, 6.
That should be 16
All
as well.
4 is 16. Oh, 3, 4, 5, 6.
18. So those are a pair of 9s. Wait, did I do this wrong? Because 21 is 6 digits. 21 minus 5 is 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 21 minus 5 would be 16 if we minimize those. 21 minus 3 is 18. And then... Okay, well, these are going to have to be 8. And we minimize these. These are missing 2, 3, and these are missing 1, 4, 5, 6. Now, if we do 7 digits, that's 28.
Well,
Subtract 3 and 4, then, okay, yeah, this is minimum 16, but it could go up to 18, right, making those a pair of 9s. 1, 2, 6, 7. And if I add 2, I can make the 6 into an 8, or the 7 into a 9. I'm going to have to have the 1 and 2 in there.
In columns 2 and 3, we've got it 2 in boxes 1 and 7. So it puts the columns 7 and 8 have 4s. Rows 2 and 3 have 1s.
And then 3s in both of
Both have
those.
3s, yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess the thing we haven't looked at yet is this one. So... And I guess maybe I haven't explained my thought process here with how we were calculating the minimums here. We know that the lines have to have 4 digits on them, as well as the 1 and the 4 that's around this quadruple. The minimum of 6 digits is, if we add up the digits 1 through 6, is 21. And so if we remove the 1 and the 4 from those 6 digits, and that leaves us 2, 3, 5, and 6, that sums to 16, which is why I was saying 21 minus 5, and the same thing down here, 21 minus 5, and then up here, 21 minus 3, which gave us 18. Since we no longer could put 9s on either of these, then maximum was 16, which is why those had to be 16, and not anything more. And then on these two, there's 3 in this quadruple, so that's why we had to go up to 7. And 3 and 4 ends up being 7, so it's still 5 minus 21, which helps out a little bit. But that's just the minimum. We can go higher than that, which is why we're allowed to put 8 or 9 on here, which is why I was saying the 6 turns into an 8 or the 7 into a 9 because of something called 2 degrees of freedom. Now, it is interesting to note this quadruple here with the 9, but these could be a 7-9 pair, but they can't be 2 7s. So if I look at where the 9s have to go in here, they can't go there, because one of these two has to be a 9. It could
Box
go
5, you
here,
could place
here,
an
or
8.
here. So that one. An 8 has to go in the middle because
And the circles are minimum 4, 5 because both circles see a 9 and 6, 7, and 8 in that box because 6 and 7 are on the quad and the 9's
so they're maximum 4, 5.
right, I said minimum, didn't I? Yeah,
Yeah.
max.
Okay, so if this is maximum 4 and 5, which means the maximum value of this sum is 9, then we should consider what the minimum could be. So on
There's
here,
3 there.
and
1, 3.
yeah, and that means the minimum is 9 and the
Yeah.
maximum is 9, so it has to be 9. Okay, now what?
Well, the 7 in box 5, um,
It can still go here, because these don't have to be 7, 9. This could
okay.
be 18. Although the 3 has to go in one of those two places, which lines up with this 3. So we get a 3 as one of those two.
Yeah. Oh, and the 2 in rows 2 and 3 places or well, reduces the 2 in.
Similar thing happens in with 3s over
Right.
here.
Well, and since 3 has to be on that line in box 1,
Oh, right. There we go. 3, the 3, the 3. So that 3's out. 5 and 6. It's going to take 6 out down there. Now, if we can take 6 out from the bottom here, that will help out nicely.
well, in box 9, on the
Yeah.
bottom of the bottom part of that line, the minimum is 1, 2.
Mm-hmm.
So 15, if it's 18, you can't put a 9 on the right-hand side.
Right, because those would both be 9s, and it would break this. Right?
Right. And then the same thing if on the right-hand side, the minimum is 1, 2, so you can't have a 9 on the bottom either. Oh, well, yes, you can, because you could have a 6, 9. So, yeah, that would could work. But the line on the right hand can't have a 9 on it.
Well, if I put a 9 on here,
Oh,
Brian
well, yeah,
says,
it
hey,
could
hey,
have a
feeling
9
better?
because a 9 and a 6.
Uh,
Never mind, because the 1, 2 doesn't have to be on the bottom.
yeah. Brian says, hey,
Also.
feeling better? I am feeling a little better. So I am functional enough to do Sudoku. I was in bed pretty much all day today. So hopefully I can be functional tomorrow. But how are you doing today, Brian? But you were talking about the 9s in here, and with the 9 over here, if there's a 9 on this line, then both of these have to be 9s.
Right.
Which would eliminate those, and the 9 in here would eliminate that. So then this 9 won't work. So that does eliminate 9s from here. Entirely. Brian says, understood. I'm glad you're a little better at least, and I'm doing well. Good to hear that you're doing well. Now the 3s here and here are going to eliminate this 3. Was there anything else you saw, Mama?
Well, okay, there's in box 9 on the line currently. If we add up all that's on the line, it comes to 24. But it's either 16 or 18.
Yeah. We have to have a 7. It's either the 6 or the 8 that we have.
Right.
If these end up a pair of 9s, then we'll get a 9 here. Where does the 9 go in here and here? So we'd get a 9 there. And what about in the central box? Well, it's eliminated there and there. And these 2 9s would eliminate those. But we can't put a 9 in the middle.
Right.
So that means these are a 7-9 pair and not a pair of 9s?
Yeah.
So then an 8 comes off. 6 is required here, which means it can't go there. 6 is required here, meaning it can't go there.
In boxes 3 and 9, 8s go in the corners.
Right. I think that happens in 1 and 7 as well, doesn't it?
Yes. And the 1 3 in column 3 reduces the 1 possibility in box 1.
Right. 4 5 takes out 4 5. Where can I put 9s in here? Either of those. So it has to be in there.
That'd be a 6 7 9 triple.
Yeah. 1 2 and 3. Which the 3s are going to line up.
The 1s form an X-wing in boxes. Yeah.
So this one lines up that one, gives me 1s there.
There's a 1
2.
X-wing in boxes 7 and 9.
1s and 1s. So that's going to place our 1 up here. This is 4 or 5, because we've got 6, 7, 9, so one of these two is 6. 7, 9 pair makes that the 6. 7, 9 pair, 2, 4, 5.
And the 2 can't be on the right.
Right. Because of the
2 X-Wing.
Yeah.
Column 4 needs 4, 5, 6, 7. Never mind, it was more than I was.
You said 4, 5, 6, 7?
Mm-hmm.
And
it goes with the circle.
We know the 1 has to be one of these two because of the 1, 2, 3 here. So it's not here. So that's a 1, and that's not. Two, 3 pair. I don't know if it's useful. Nines in box 1 have to be here. So this is, what, 1, 2, and 7?
Yeah.
Or this one's not a 1 because of this, and this isn't a 2 because of that.
Row 9 has a 4, 5 pair, which leaves a 2, 6, 7 triple. So an 8, 9.
Or the 2 has to be here. So 2's out, 7 out. And you said 8, 9 on the outside?
Mm-hmm.
This one has to be 9, and that one can't be, so 7. 7, 9.
Column 1 needs 4, 5, 7. That's a 6 in the center. Column 2 2, 3, 7. There's 1 in the box. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this one can't be a 3 because the 1, 3 here.
4, 5, 6 left for the box 8.
6 and 7, I think, which are actually done. 6, 6, 1, 6, 7, 1, 3. Not seeing immediately how that's working. 1 here, 4 there, 7 and 9, I think.
Row 3 has a 4, 5 pair.
Okay, 2 is going to be over here with the 2, 4.
9 in box column 8.
I don't see 5 or
5
6.
and 6.
Not a 2. This 3 can't go there.
Has to be in the right.
Go. And we knew that a long time ago. Rain DW Soup says hi. Hi, Rain DW Soup. How are you doing today? Oh, I forgot to put a link to the puzzle in the chat. There we go. Nobody will notice if I get it in there right at the end, right? Or at least hopefully they don't yell at me. Alright. Oh, Logic Masters Germany. Is this puzzle on Logic Masters Germany? We finished defrag? Oh, I bet we didn't finish defrag from last week.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
If I hit enter here, if I get rid of the spaces. Yeah, getting rid of the spaces is important. Row 5. See, how long did that take us? 21 minutes? It was a pretty easy puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
I think the hardest part of the logic was the 9s. Everything else was pretty straightforward. There was some things we missed, like the 3s here. That was pretty goofy once we put in those 1, 2, 3s. Yeah, I think the 9s in here was the toughest part, which wasn't really that difficult. So very easy, very nice. Submit that one, and we're on to the next puzzle. The Composite Thread by Palpot. And if nope, we're gonna do this one. This one should be a quick puzzle. I don't know if my brain's up to doing defrag from last week. We'll might have to try that one again. I was about to say tomorrow, but tomorrow's Wednesday. So it's gonna have to be another week to potentially forget the puzzle. Alright, so second puzzle we're gonna do today is the Composite Thread. Excuse me. The Composite Thread by Palpot. Normal Sudoku rules apply, i.e., place the digits 1 through 9 once each in every row, column, and 3x3 box. The 3x3 box borders divide each blue line into segments. The digits on each segment of the same line must sum to the same total. For example, row 2, column 6 plus row 3, column 6 equals row 4, column 7 plus row 4, column 8 plus row 4, column 9. It'll make more sense once I click off of the rules. The digits along each line must sum to a unique number, and the sums of these lines must form a set of consecutive numbers. All right. Okay. So, if we look at the example, row 2, column 6, row 3, column 6, these two digits here must sum to the same thing as these three. So if I were to say place 2 and 4 there, then I would know that these are 1, 2, and 3 in some order, because 2 and 4 sum to 6, 1, 2, and 3 sum to 6. And then this line up at the top is split into multiple regions. So the red group must sum to the same as the yellow group, which must sum to the same as the blue group. Aside from that, yeah, we're ready. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the reset on the timer. I think I'm gonna blow my nose again. All right.
Well, that the blue line that dances across the bottom division between boxes 4 and 7. Those 3 sets in, yeah, those 2 and those 2 and the red all summed to are all the same sum. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
minimum 7 that it can go.
We know this one up here that has 4 digits in it is minimum 10.
Yeah.
The thing is, none of them are single cellular, so I
So
guess
red,
the
green, and
maximum.
purple,
Yeah,
that sum is divisible by 3.
yeah.
The sum of the entire row is divisible by 3.
Mm-hmm.
So the last 3 are divisible by 3, right? Yeah.
Collectively.
Yeah, collectively. Not that that's very helpful.
Not right away. We know the minimum on here is 7 as the individual sum, because if we make them all together, they're
Right, yeah.
21. But the maximum they can be, I mean, if I make these 3 6, then 45 minus 6 is 39. Their maximum 13.
Right.
So we've got 7 through 13 as our range for this line. And if it's the smallest, then 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I mean, it gives
Yeah,
us...
digits along each line must sum to a unique... I forgot that part. And the sums of these lines must form a set of consecutive numbers.
Yeah. So the sums are the sums are a set of unique consecutive numbers. So
There are 5 of them.
yeah.
And the minimum any of them can be is 6.
Mm-hmm. Except for this one, which is min 7, and this one,
Right.
which is min 10.
Right, but all of them have at least 3.
Yeah.
Have at least a 3-cell segment. So you can't go less than 6.
Now, this one could not be 6. And I think this one couldn't either. because if we made this 6, then this one here would be 4,
Right.
5, 6, which is 15. And 6 and 15 are too far apart. So neither of these two lines can be 6. And this line can't be 6 because this set of 3 looks at that set of 3, and so
Right.
you'd have 3 digits along 4 cells. So this one isn't 6, this one isn't 6, this one isn't 6, that one isn't 6, the top one isn't 6, none of them can be 6. So now our minimum is 7. Although, this one couldn't be 7, because you'd have the same problem as you did for 6. Because 6 was 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, but that's not going to work. 7 just turns the 3 into a 4, and, well, same problem. I don't have enough digits. So, this one has to be minimum 8. Now these two, minimum sum together is 21.
Well, okay. Since the one that's colored
Yeah.
is minimum 7, max 13.
Mm-hmm.
If the 13 is the lowest, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 is the highest on any of
Yeah.
them. And we know that one that you just highlighted on, yeah, that one cannot be 17.
Right, because it'll break here.
Right.
If it was 17 or 16. So this is 15 or less.
Right, between 7 and 15. And if it's 7, three, 5, 6,
Which is 14.
14.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
And that doesn't work.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. So, we can't do 7 on either of these.
Oh, yeah, not super.
Your audio did something weird.
I'm sorry. Huh?
Oh, your audio messed up, but it's better now.
No, it was me. I was trying to find the mute button, and
Oh.
so I just put my hand around the the mic while I
Okay.
was talking. Sorry.
No worries. So what can these two be? Because they can't be 7, they couldn't be 8. Or excuse me, they couldn't be 6 or 7. So what if they were, I mean, the minimum here is 21 combined. So it was 7 and 15. It's going to be 8 and 14. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 8's not going to work. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 9 and 13 is 22. So do they have to be 10 and 11?
I think so. Because it's bounded
9,
by 7
10, 11,
and
12, 13.
7 and 17, and since
Oh wait, no, 9 and 13 is fine. So they're minimum 9. The problem was 8 because minimum is 21. So 21 minus 8 is 13. 8 and 13 are exactly 5 apart. I don't have exactly 5 apart allowed. I can only do 4 apart between the maximum and minimum because I have 4 lines. So it would be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I can't get to 13. So 8 and 13 isn't allowed. But 9 plus 4 is 13, and 9 and 13 is 22, which is 1 more than 21. So I could do a 9 and another value in here. But we get 9 through 17, essentially, as our possibilities in this range.
Right, and the one at the top is a minimum 10.
Right. I think I want to pull up notes. Right. Did that. Pull up notes. Sure did. Put that over there. Okay. I think this was for the other, for defrag. So get rid of all that. So minimum 7, or no, I'm just going to say 7 through 17. Line 4 from the top is 7 through 13. Lines 2 and 3, min 9.
What was the max on those, do we know?
Line 10, or excuse me, line 1 is min 10. Well, if the minimum is 9, then 9 plus 4 is going to be 13.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Well, that's not right. I think the max is just simply 17 because
Yeah.
the maximum of 2 values, or excuse me, the maximum is 39. And 39 minus 1 is 38. Divide that by 2 is 19. So I could do 19 and 20.
No.
I think. But because 19 and 20, yeah. So, but they're not restricted by their configuration. It has to be 8 through 17. Okay. This right here. Is it important that there are 3 different values here in this? 17, 16, and 15 are what?
Too much. 15, 14, 13. Well, no.
Yeah.
Sum of 42 is the most.
But that would just be if they were consecutive,
Right.
which they don't have to be. Okay. Well, the small problem on line 4, if it was 7. Because, what would this digit be? It would be 7, 8, or 9. But it's the only line that's allowed to be 8. Because lines 2 and 3 have to be minimum 9, and line 1 has to be minimum 10. So if we made line 4 a 7, then line 5 would have to be 8. But clearly that's not possible if I put 7, 8, or 9 on a 3 line. Right? So that pushes line 4 up to an 8. Right? Am I still muted? No.
I must have finally found the mute button. Sorry.
Yay. But that logic makes sense, right? That this
Yes.
line 4 couldn't be a 7. So
Right.
if line 4 isn't a 7, then that pushes us up to 8 through 17. If line 4 was an 8, we would still have this be 4, 8, 9. Now, maximum would be 12, which I could use an 8 and a 9 on, so that's not going to be a problem. And of course I can use a 4 and make it smaller. Although, lines 4 and 5 must sum to at least 15.
Right. Which they're going to, because line 4 and 5 are both minimums 8. So
Yeah. Minimum 17 together. Lines 2 and 3 sum together to be minimum 21. But if they're consecutive, then that minimum is just 10 and 11. But they don't have to be consecutive, because they could be 9 and 12, or 9 and 13. And of course, they can be larger. Well, we know that this is minimum 21.
right.
So although I guess with this being, well, if this was 21. Okay, hold on. Because the sums of the line, of all the lines, is 8 plus, or 8 times 5 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, which is 10. So that would be 50. As the minimum, and through, because that would be 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 11 plus 12. And a better way of doing that would be to pair the 12 and the 8 to make 20. 11, and 9 is another 20, plus 10 is 50. But 9 is 1 more than 8, 10 is 2 more than 8, 11 is 3 more than 8, and 12 is 4 more than 8. And there are 5 8s if we were to break this 9 into 8 plus 1, which was the reason for 8 times 5 plus 10. So that would be 50. And if we did 17 plus 16 plus 15 plus 14 plus 13, then we get 2 30s and a 15, which is going to be 75. And that's the sum of everything.
Right.
If I just want the sum of 3 from those groups, I mean, we know the minimum of 2 of them together is going to be 21, plus a third thing, if we did 9 plus 12 plus 13, that would equal 25, 34.
Yeah.
So, but I could do 17 plus 16 plus 15. Well, no, I can't. It's 15 plus 14 plus 13 that's the maximum, because that's 42. Gosh darn it. Because I was trying to figure out a way to do lines 1, 2, and 3,
Right.
but they are... I mean, 10 and 21 is 31. And there's no reason why I couldn't just do 31. Yeah, I would just have 16 left over, I think. No, 14 left over. Which has plenty of options. So, what? What? Is there some sort of, like, set theory thing? I mean, if I tried to, I mean, I can make those red and these blue. Just gonna take out those. Well, that one is that one. So I'd have to add this. And I could add this in blue and this in red. So now I can take that out and that out. Those two sum to those. And it doesn't seem super useful. Why am I struggling so hard with this puzzle?
I don't know. I saw the stuff with the line 4, and that was about it.
Yeah. I'm not seeing any sort of other. I mean, anything, really. I mean, we have ranges that are 8 through 12, 9 through 13, 10 through 14, 11 to 15, 13 through 17. Those are our ranges. There's nothing stopping this from being 10, 11, and 12. So,
Right, if line 4 is 13, that leaves 1, 2, and 3 on row 7.
Yeah.
So then line 3 would be max 12.
Well, that probably means 13 through 17 is not possible then. Because for the range
Yeah.
13 to 17 to be
Is
possible,
not possible because
this one would have to be 13 since it's maximum 13.
mhm.
Okay, so that range goes away. Now, that doesn't mean that line 4 can't be 13.
No,
It
it
just
just
means that 13
by
can't be the
making
largest or smallest set.
right. Okay, well, that eliminated one more.
Uh-huh.
I mean, yeah, line 4 can still be 13. It just
It just wouldn't be the smallest then.
mhm.
Okay, the minimum in here is 31. Which means 31. The smallest way I can do 31 I mean 10 plus 11 plus another 10, but I can't do another 10. So 12? That would be if they were consecutive.
Right.
So now I'm at 33. So if I subtract 2, so that would be 9, 10, and 12 is the minimum. Which is definitely possible. Because 9 and 12 are 21. And 10 is the minimum that the top line can be.
Mhm.
I'd have to get 11. But I don't think 8 and 11 are difficult to do down here on lines 4 and 5.
Wait a minute, 17 is no longer possible.
Right,
Oh, that's 16, not 18.
right.
if line 4 is 12, it leaves 1, 2,
And 6?
and 6, right. Yeah, so then 15 is the max on line 3 or line 2, whichever that one is.
This one's 3.
Okay.
This one's 2.
Looking at the horizontal, okay.
Oh, how do I think about the possibilities? I mean, there's a part of me that wants to just sort of say, like, okay, if I made this 8, what would happen? I mean, I know what these would be. They'd be 4, 8, 9. But none of this is restricted because if I made 8, 8 through 12, 12 and 3 can be 1, 2, and 9. Or I could make it smaller. I could use 4. So that's not even that restricted there. And then this one wouldn't be that restricted. I mean, is there something about like these 3 in this corner? I mean, they're minimum 21. But that's just, I mean, if the minimum's 8 anyway, 8, 9, and 10 are 27. So
Right.
I'm already past the minimum requirement. I just simply, this being my smallest range. So I have no idea what to do. this doesn't. This feels like there's not enough restrictions. So then what? Staring at this puzzle for 48 minutes. And it's just nothing.
Well, you say lines 2 and 3 are max 16, but line 3 cannot be 16. It's max 15 by column 5 because 16 is 7 and 9,
Right.
which would break split lines 2 and 3.
Okay, there has to be something with the fact that there are 3 in box 9 and 3 in box 2. Now, if we look in box
And
2,
between the two, it gives us all 5 with line 3 being counted in both.
yeah, line 1 plus 2 plus 3, and box 9 is line 3 plus 4 plus 5.
And lines 2 and 3 are minimum 21.
Right.
Lines 4 and 5 are minimum 15.
Which means, well, boxes 4 and, or excuse me, lines 4 and 5 being minimum 15 means 3 doesn't have to be that large to reach 21. Technically, it only has to be 6, so it doesn't matter what line 3 is. Alright, well, now there's a part of me that wants to give up.
Actually, lines 4 and 5 are minimum 17. Because line 4 and 5 are each minimum 8.
Right.
So
I mean, it'd be 39 and 45 minus 24. Make that a 2. Oh, I already knew that was 21. Well, technically, 8, 9, and 10 is 27.
that's yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. OBS decided it wanted to disconnect. You still there, Mama?
I'm still here.
Why is OBS Oh, it just dropped for like a second or so. That was weird. I can't think of anything else to do. So you want to hit the pause button and come back to this next week? Okay. It's a little early, but we're not making progress on this puzzle. The other puzzle we have queued up is taking a long time as well. And I'd like to get some good sleep tonight, hopefully, so that I can be healthy tomorrow. So I think that is going to be it for today. So, yeah. Minimize that. Minimize this one after I save it. And, yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and click to the thank you for watching screen. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fancy YouTube engagement stuff. And, have a good day. Yeah.